Well, I guess you can see I only have one earring. So in this crochet tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make the second one. You'll see how nice and lacy looking it is. It can be perfect for an evening out, a wedding, or anything that you choose. So come join me and I'll show you how to make this earring. And then you can make two also. Let's go. Let's get started. The materials and the tools we will be needing to make this lacy earring. We have our earring wire findings. You can find these at pretty much any craft store. You'll need 2 of them. We also need a pair of pliers. Now you can find these also in the craft section. They are very inexpensive. One has round tip and the other one has a flat tip. The round one will help open the opening right here on the earring without distorting the shape because it's round. The other one, the flat one, will help close it together. So we'll be using these 2 pliers. The hook size that we'll be using is a 2.25 millimeter. We'll need a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle that will fit the crochet thread that we're going to use, and this crochet thread that I have here is a size 10. And you can use any color. So we're going to need a short tail for some minor weaving and joining of an end. So leave yourself about a 6 or 8 inch tail. Let's place a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to start with a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's join to the first to create a circle with a slip stitch. Now we're going to be going around our chain into the circle. Let's start off with 3 single crochets. Now you notice I did not chain at the beginning. This is okay. So here's number 3. Okay. So what we're going to be doing next is we're going to create the chain that will hold onto our earring. So let's chain 4, and then back to our magic or our ring here, 3 single crochets. Remember when working with thread to control your tension as well. You'll notice that as I do this that I snug it up a little bit to make sure that my tension is correct. After you've gotten these together, bring them together so you have about half of the chain still showing. Okay, chain 3. And onto our ring again, we're going to do a treble stitch. So you wrap it twice over the hook, come into our circle, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over through 2 loops on the hook, and 2 loops. That's our first treble. We're going to add 4 more. The treble is pretty much the same as a double crochet, all we're doing is adding an extra loop. And the stitches that we will be using in making of this earring will be trebles and single crochet and chain. Okay, so we have our chain, which is 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 trebles. Okay, so after we have this far, let's chain 2 and into our ring again, 1 treble, chain 2, slide your work over. The rest of this area up to that single crochet will get 5 trebles. 1, 2. You'll notice that I'm also going over my tail throughout this whole process, going around the ring. Okay, I'm going to pull it over just a little bit. I have 1, 2, 3. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3. I need 2 more. I accidentally counted the 1 treble that needs to be by itself. Okay, so this is our first row. Let's enlarge our loop here so you can see this a little bit better. All right, so let's thread the needle on our tail, and I'll show you what to do next. Please pause your video. All right, so if you notice, you'll see how all of this is joined nicely, and right through here it seems like we have a small gap. So we're going to take this tail and we're going to use it to help close that gap. So go into the first single crochet, and then come over here to the bottom of that treble. We're going to go around it one more time, and this will help close the gap. Okay, so if we flip it over, we're going to go in between the backs of the bottoms of these trebles to lock this stitch in. Okay, pull it through, come over one loop, come back, make sure you cut the right one. Trust me, I've done it before too. Okay, let's get that out of our way. So we want to kind of spread it out a little, and then it looks like it's all one piece. All right, let's get back onto our hook and turn your work over, and we're going to start the next row. All right, and don't forget, remember to snug up to that other stitch so that everything is in the proper tension. So let's chain 4. Okay, I'm going to turn my work. This will count as one double crochet, treble crochet. So let's wrap it twice. We're going to skip this first hole here. We're going to go into the second one. We're going to do a 4 treble cluster. So we're just going to come up, we're going to go through those loops twice, and leave the last one on the hook. Wrap it twice, go through the next one, yarn over, yarn through 2, yarn through 2, and stop. We have 3 loops on our hook. Wrap it twice. Okay, and then we're going to do it one more time. Okay, through the 2. So we should have 5 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all of them, and then chain 1. So we have our little cluster here. Kind of looks like a leaf, a lacy leaf. All right, after we chain 1 to close, we want to chain 2. Now into this single treble, we want to go in between. If you just go under these 2, when you stretch it, you'll have a 1 thread showing. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is open it up and go underneath that one too. So you'll have 2 here and 2 here, and you won't have it stretched out so bad. So let me yarn over twice. And you have to fish for it a little bit. Once you find it, you can see it. Okay, so we're going to do 5 trebles in this space. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and here's number 5. Okay, we ain't done yet. All right, so this is going to be a repeat of this first row we did here. Okay, so we're going to do the top of that first row, but we're also creating another first row while we do the second row. So let me pull some more thread off. All right, chain 2, slide that work over, and into that same spot, 1 treble, chain 2. Now into that same spot, 5 more trebles, and it can be done. Okay, so there's 1. You see how when we went over just that 1 loop in that stitch, how it's not also stretched out of shape? Okay, so we got 2, got 3 more. Okay, so here's number 3. Number 4, and number 5. All right, this is what we have so far. So now we need to chain 2, Now on top of this one, we're going to do our 5 treble cluster, or 5 trebles together here. So let's yarn over twice in through that first one, yarn over 2, and stop. Wrap it twice, yarn over 2, yarn over 2. Here's the third one. Here's the fourth one. Remember that tension is a big key in making so that your stitches look proper. So this is how I wrap it around my hands, and I can help control that tension as well. We have one more, which is our chain. So let's wrap it again. Go into that top of that chain. Pull up our loop, yarn over through 2, and yarn over through 2. All right, we should have 5. Let's see. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have 6 on our loop this time because that includes the chain stitch. So yarn over, aim that hook down and through all of them, and then chain 1, and that'll tighten that up and finish that row. All right, so let's turn our work. So into this first one here, we're going to slip stitch. Into the second, we're going to slip stitch. And you don't want to skip any of these chains. I found that when you skip them, it looks sloppy. So let's go into the third one. Okay, see how it just kind of fills in over there? So into this next one here, we're going to single crochet. Okay, and you know what goes on top of the 5 trebles will be the 5 treble cluster. So with our single crochet, let's chain 3. Now we're going to do 4 of the treble clusters. So here's 1, 2, 3, and here's the 4th one. Okay, so we have 5 loops on our hook. Let's go through all of them, chain 1 to close it. All right. I need to check my battery on my phone. Alrighty. I'll be with you in just a second. And I appreciate that second. Most of you who follow me on YouTube know that I use a GoPro camera, and after 3 minutes the screen does not show me how much my battery's left unless I actually stop recording. Okay, so now we are back to this one treble where we want to go into the center. We're going to place 5 trebles, chain 2, 1 treble, chain 2, and 5 trebles, all in this location right here. Okay, so but before we move on, let's chain 2, and then remember to pick up in the middle. I don't know if I can show you. See right there, this one right here? Can you see that? Just go right in there. because if you have just that one thread showing for some reason, it just looks all stretched out of shape. So there we go. Can you see it? Okay, so here's one. Okay, what I'm going to do is, since I commented to you and we've already done it twice, I'm going to place it right here. 5 trebles, chain 2, 1 treble, chain 2, 5 trebles are all going in this one space. So please do that. Pause your video and I'll see you in just a second. Now that wasn't too bad, was it? Okay, let's move on. Chain 2. Okay, and remember, over our 5 treble from the previous row, we're going to do our 5 treble cluster. So yarn over twice, or thread over twice, and we're going to do 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's our 5th one. Okay, yarn over and through, aim the hook down, snug it up good, chain 1 and turn. Now do know that as you do this, you might want to pull on it and tug on it, and that's okay. When you do crochet, sometimes it needs to be manipulated to get it to do what you need it to do. Okay, so slip stitch 3 times, 1 in the chain for the closing of the cluster, and 1 in each chain of the chain 2. There's 1 and 1 more. Okay, and single crochet into the next over the top of that treble and chain 3. So this will be our final set of trebles of double here, but in the center we're going to do something a little different, because that will be our final, the point right here. All right, so let's do a 4 together cluster right here for our treble. See, the nice thing about this pattern is that you do the next row as you do the same row. This kind of sounds crazy, doesn't it? Okay, and chain 1 to close it. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. So this one right here is going to be our center lacy leaf kind of thing. So to do that, we need to chain 2, and in the same location here we're going to place 7 trebles. So remember to go under that extra part of the stitch, and let's place 7 trebles right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If you're wondering why this one is bigger than the ones on the sides, is because it's in the center. So we just added 1 for each side, so we added 7. All right, let's chain 2 over our trebles here. We're going to do the 5 treble cluster. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and 1 chain to lock it. Okay, let's turn our work. Slip stitch into that first chain and slip stitch into the next 2 chains. Single crochet over the first treble, chain 3. I need to check my battery again. So we're almost done. Thank you for being patient with me. All right, so we chained our 3. Actually, chain 1 more because this is going to be wider. Now you're going to do a 6 treble cluster. We have our chain, which is 1 treble. Okay, so we're going to go into the next one. So we're going to do 6 trebles for this cluster here. And then we will be done and ready to put our earring on. Of course, after we weave in our end. Now in the process of making this, if you like to add beads, you can add the beads before you start the crocheting. I hadn't thought about if anybody really would like to add beads, so I didn't do it. But anything's possible in this design. Okay, aim your hook down and tighten it good. And then right here. So leave a long enough tail. Let's pull it through. Doesn't look too bad. So let's go ahead and thread our end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go backwards and I'm going to go through this collection of stitching here. I'm going to go over the 1, come across. Go over 1. And if you wonder why I go over 1, because if you go back through the same hole, it's going to unravel, or your weaving won't hold up. Okay, so that finishes that earring. Go ahead and make your second one, and then I'll show you how to put the earring wire onto it. Alright, so with our earring wire here, we're going to take the round pliers here, put it into the hole, and then open it. I'm pulling on it. so that it opens up just that little bit. Then take it and go through the center of that chain. Okay, I missed it. Let me get the center here. Because if you only pick up part of the chain, it won't look right. So there we go. Through the center. And then with the pliers, squeeze it shut. And we are done. So I hope you enjoyed this lengthy crochet tutorial. I tried to go with you every step of the way to make sure that you would have it right without me just saying do this and then shut the video off. So I hope you enjoy these. I think these would be beautiful in white and make perfect accent for a wedding dress or even just for an evening out. You can add beads pretty much anywhere you would like. Or if you want to, you can also sew it along and add the beads around. Whichever you choose. So enjoy. Thank you for watching. So till next time. Bye-bye.